Hi, my name's Peter. I like motorcycles and motorcycle camping. If you've been following my channel, you've seen me go to Alaska and back recently, and I've done a bunch of other trips. On my Alaska trip, I was using these fabulous Rhino Walk soft bags, but I also use these RoyalEnfield hard cases, which I have a review on. There's a bunch of things about them I don't like, but these are the hard cases that I have. So, which are better? Soft bags or hard bags? That's the question I'm going to talk about today. When I was coming back into adventure motorcycling about 10 years ago, hard cases were the most common thing that people used. But the problem with off-road and adventure riding with hard cases is you can hurt yourself when you fall down. You have a chance of getting your leg caught underneath there, and you could injure yourself. So one of the big arguments for soft bags was the reduced risk of injury. Today, a lot of adventure riders are using rackless systems, so you don't even have to have the weight of these support racks, and there are bags that can hold up to 80 liters without any racks, and that's a great way to go. But the question really is, which system do you want? And the answer is, it depends on the riding that you want to do. So let's just look at the strengths and liabilities of each of these two types of systems. I don't have a rackless system, so I can't really talk about that, but they have the same liabilities as the soft bags, but they have the added benefit of much less weight. So I'll just mention that, but let's just compare these two and see what we like and what we don't like about them. The hard boxes have the benefit of security. You can lock them up and you know that whatever's in there is going to be there when you get back. Soft bags, not generally lockable. They may be, depending on the system, there are ways to do it. You can lock this. In fact, the Rhino Walk bag comes with a little padlock that fits through there, so you can't remove the bag. You can still open it up. But what I'm going to talk about also is the fact that opening a hard case is generally a one-handed operation, and there's a context where that's really important, right? So with this one, you just flip it up and then it's open. Okay, so, and again, different systems or different bags are going to be different, but with the Rhino Walk, you got two over flaps, and then you got these, and then you got the unrolling, and then you can go in there. This is not really a one-handed operation. And in the context of moto camping, or when you've got to the end of a long day and you just want to unpack your gear, it doesn't really matter if you have two hands. But you might want to do other things with your bike. So I also commute to work with this bike and I run errands on it. So when I come out of a grocery store and I've got a bag of groceries in my hand, it's wet, I don't want to put it on the ground, it's a paper bag. I'm going to be able to open this and put my groceries in easily. And also, if I'm running errands in an urban environment, having a locking box is much nicer than having to put stuff in a loose bag. So if I got my groceries here and I'm trying to open this bag, now I have a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open it up. Get my groceries in. It's just not as practical. Another advantage of the hard case is that you can strap things on top, which is what I've done when I went up to Gold River to the Gold River Rally. I had my big tent here, so it's strapped really nicely on top of that. But normally I just keep my camping gear in a bag across the back. Now the great thing is, you might not be able to afford multiple motorcycles, but buying different bag systems, if you want to use your bike year round for both moto camping and for grocery shopping means that you could own more than one system. Now, I wouldn't want to have to go out and buy a couple of systems all at the same time. I bought these boxes last year. I bought these bags this year. So didn't have to pay for it all at once. And also when I'm going to work, because I work on call as well as being retired, I can easily put my briefcase into this box. Fortunately, if you have more than one system, you can easily swap them. These boxes come off and leave nothing but the rack. These boxes, these bags, when you remove them, have a plate that holds them on, but this plate only has 4 little bolts that hold it, so it just takes me a couple of minutes to pull this off, and then I can mount 2 boxes. What do you prefer, hard bags or soft bags? Let me know in the comments. Do you use a rackless system? Does that hold enough for you? Can you take all your gear for a moto camping trip? I've just come back from a trip, so I'm swapping out my soft bags for my hard cases, and now I got to do some grocery shopping and run some errands. So thanks for watching the video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.